Hey, everybody. My name is Ben Dorr. I am the executive director for Minnesota Right to Life. And I have a very important update for anybody in Senate District 58, which happens to be where I live as well in Northfield. For all of you who live in the Northfield, Farmington, Lonsdale area of Minnesota in the new Senate District 58, if you love the preborn, if you love the right to life, if you're a Christian like me, whatever your cause, if you believe in these issues, you're going to want to hear about the two candidates running in the August 9th Republican primary here in Senate District 58. So do me a favor, share this video with all of your family and friends who are pro-life, who want to stand up and fight on behalf of those who have no voice. I'm going to kick this off again with Minnesota Right to Life. At election time, we sent out a candidate survey to the two candidates running in this Republican primary. The first is Dr. Bill Lieske, and the second is Jake Cordes. Okay. And I want to give you a quick overview of the survey and what the answers were. One of them answered 100% pro-life, and that is Dr. Bill Lieske. And Jake Cordes, who is primarying Dr. Bill Lieske, refused to fill out his Minnesota Right to Life candidate survey. I'm just going to go through a few of the questions here very quickly and give you some context on what it means when I say that Dr. Bill um, surveyed 100%. The top question that we asked him was, will you support life at conception legislation? And the answer to that question was yes. And more than that, he said that he would sponsor the bill in the Senate to determine that life begins at conception and protect the unborn. At the same time, he was very cognizant of, as a doctor, very cognizant of the difficulties that surround pregnancies and things like that. And he wants to take those things into account for sure. But he did promise that he would champion the issue of life in the Minnesota Senate if he makes it there through this primary on August 9th and in November. The next question, this was a very easy one for him to answer, was, do you support defunding Planned Parenthood, who is the biggest butcher of babies in the country? Certainly here in Minnesota, they get a huge amount of our tax dollars that are being passed through the legislature. Republicans and Democrats are voting to fund these abortion practices through the Health and Human Services bill. And so we asked him, do you support defunding Planned Parenthood? They should not have our tax dollars. And he said, absolutely yes, he would support that legislation. The third question we asked was, will you use procedural votes to move pro-life bills if these bills are stuck in committee, if legislative leaders have decided that we're just not going to protect the unborn this year? He said yes, he will use the power of his office to advocate on behalf of babies, of the unborn, and fulfill his promise to the pro-life, pro-freedom, pro-God community in Senate District 58. And then the fourth question was, will you vote against all abortions when given the opportunity? Yes, and the answer was yes. So we got a 100% survey from Dr. Bill. We appreciate that very much. And he has promised to be the leading advocate in the Minnesota Senate. If he makes it there, it's Dr. Bill in the middle. He said that he will fight on behalf of those issues for the unborn. Now I'm afraid I have bad news for the voters in Senate District 58. We asked this same series of questions to Jake Cordes. Um, and Jake has been running kind of an interesting campaign. He did refuse to fill out his Minnesota Right to Life candidate survey. So he will not tell us where he stands on life at conception. He will not tell us where he stands on defunding Planned Parenthood. Um, very concerning, especially again, given the fact that we keep having Republicans fund abortion in Minnesota. Um, Pro-lifers want folks who are going to fight for them in St. Paul, fight for the babies, in particular because of what just happened, this wonderful thing that happened with the overturning of Roe versus Wade. It's a great thing, but what it did also was bring the fight for the unborn to the state level. And there are states surrounding us, Iowa, the Dakotas, Wisconsin, others who have wonderful restrictions on the practice of killing unborn babies. But here in Minnesota, we have no such laws. And that's why Minnesota Right to Life exists. And now, because of the overturning of Roe versus Wade, we're going to have a tremendous influx of people from all the surrounding states wanting to come to Minnesota to kill their babies. Taking a quick vacation to the North Star state to kill an unborn child, and we are funding it with our tax dollars. Republicans, Democrats are funding it, and Tim Walz is promising to be this haven of death going forward. So it is of the utmost importance that we defund Planned Parenthood of our tax dollars, that we pass life at conception to protect these babies, and that we use all the power that we have to end the brutal, ungodly, life-taking practice of abortion. And the fact that Jake Cordes absolutely refuses to take this issue seriously is a very bad sign. So if you see Dr. Bill Lieske, thank him for his strong stance on behalf of the pro-life community and on behalf of the unborn. Thank him for doing that. But when it comes to Jake Cordes, it's if you look deeper into him again, and I want to be very clear about this. We are a Christian organization. There are some pro-life organizations in the state of Minnesota who claim to be secular. They want to leave God out of the discussion. I don't know how you can leave God out of the discussion on the right of the unborn to breathe, to have life. You can't do that. This is a Christian issue. This is a fundamental issue of life. And if you take a moment and look at the history of Jake Cordes, well, here's one for you. You can see he hated President Trump, who was arguably the most pro-life president that we have had in decades. He was furious at him. Here he is in 2016 promising that he would never vote for President Trump. Here he is wishing that the biggest rhino, Mitt Romney, in the entire US Senate had been president, when Mitt Romney never lifted a finger for the babies. He never lifted a finger to protect life. They funded abortion at the federal level too. But Jake Cordes is 100% in support of these types of nonsense, baby killing nonsense. And again, as a Christian organization, here he is supporting Pride Month. As a Christian organization, we don't support Pride Month. We don't support grooming children. We don't support this type of ungodly, horrible type of situation. We just don't support that as a social issue and as a moral issue. And Jake Cordes does. So given his response to so many of these things, I'm not surprised, I guess, that he refused to fill out the Minnesota Right to Life candidate survey. He should stand up and do what Dr. Bill has done and promise to advocate on behalf of the life of the unborn. But he has not done that. So tell Jake Cortez to apologize for hiding his views from the voters in Senate District 58. Tell him to come clean. If he supports abortion, he should say so outright. Let your yes be yes and let your no be no, Jake. Um, and do us a favor, share this video with everybody you know in Senate District 58 and make sure they know where the candidates stand. Thank Dr. Bill Lieske for his firm stance, for being a man of principle, standing on those principles. Sometimes there are people who believe good things, but intentionally put their light under that bushel basket. And they say, I'm not going to talk about that. That might not be good for the polls and for the. No, Dr. Bill says, this is who I am. This is what I believe. Jake Cortez says, I believe in LGBT Pride Month. I believe that President Trump was a terrible president compared to Mitt Romney. There's other things he supported. Governor Walz's lockdowns, double man, the whole thing. But he won't speak up on behalf of the life of the unborn. And 2023, I'll just say this: 2023 is budget year. And so the Minnesota Senate and the Minnesota House will be passing more funding for abortion, or they won't. Or they won't. Who's going to fight against them? You get to decide. So share this video with your family and friends. Thank you for your time. God bless you. Let's keep fighting for the life of the unborn. And when you go out and vote in the August 9th Republican primary coming up right around the corner, it's going to be here very soon. Vote pro-life and defend the babies. Thank you.